Okay, I was born and grew up in a place called Ardison Johnson. It's pretty much the countryside in Donegal. It's between Letterkenny and Derry City. As far as I can remember, I drew from a young age, pretty much all the time. It was just something I did. Very early memory is drawing on the wall with toothpaste, which didn't go down too well at home, but I was just being creative. I had an older brother who was really into comics growing up, and I think that is a real overriding influence. And as I grew up, it's something I just took for granted. There's always comics about to read, and at a young age, I grew up drawing superheroes and monsters. That's what that led into, and went on to drawing and making my own comics. Cutting them out, sorting out the pages, stapling them together myself, and I moved on to secondary school then, which I was really fortunate to have a really supportive art teacher. And I remember a period about 14, I think it was one summer, where I just started spending more and more time like working from photographs, doing really tight pencil work, and I could feel things taking a jump forward, just getting tighter. And it was nearly, you just learn that there is no cutting corners, just sitting down and spending time putting the hours in, and that's how you develop. There's no easy solutions. Through my teenage years, like anyone, I felt my tastes were forming, coming together. There was two big things were, comics that were still big into, and like any teenager was getting into music and music visuals, sleeve design. So with comics, they weren't readily, it wasn't easy to get your hands on them, so I really look forward to visiting older sister and brother in Belfast and Dublin, where I'd able to visit comic shops and get my fix. And as well, as I said, music was coming into my life, and lots of sleeve design. I was big into a lot of 60s stuff, that kind of crazy psychedelic design, like guys like Martin Sharp and the more pop arty type stuff. And I suppose as well, growing up in the countryside, it made me build up and feed off my own internal imaginative world, if that doesn't sound too pretentious. But and then I moved to college in Belfast, and at first I did a mix of fine arts and graphic design, but I absolutely loved life drawing, and the chance to do life drawing and have a life drawing room there, it really got me into respecting figure drawing, and that can really help you tighten up just the process of looking and drawing what you see. So I really went for that. And college for me, it was a real opportunity that you had time to kind of deepen your influences and really get into different things, such as more graphic design stuff, such as like the graphic designer and sleeve designer Peter Saville from the 80s, did a lot of stuff for Joy Division, New Order, and contemporary illustrators as well. You're able to soak up from the college library doing contemporary magazines. So I was able to take in guys like Jasper Goodall, David Fulbari, Pete Fowler, and near to the end of my time in college, I feel I was still holding back from using computer software and taking that into my work practice. But I feel holding off and being a bit wary of it made me treat it as a tool to work in conjunction with my own drawing skills, rather than the software and what it can do being the be-all and end-all of everything. And I think I went to college at a funny time, where I feel the digital world and digital possibilities really began to become built in for good into the way a lot of creatives now work, like a large majority of creatives now work. And there was like a turning point from old skills to tutors really focusing on digital software and digital possibilities. So in my final year in art college, I focused on illustration, and I created a project which involved creating illustrated content for a music print publication, and I feel like I've been chasing that dream project ever since. So after college, I worked as a graphic designer in Belfast, which helped to deepen my technical knowledge and skills, such as Adobe software, for example. And a year or two after this, I decided to move to London, which when I did move, it was exciting and scary, the scale of it, from everything I was used to before, but it's been fun to soak up so many more things, to take in, like, culturally and creatively, and so many more openings. But all this time I've worked on my own self-initiated work, which still does reflect those influences from my teenage years, comic book styles and music references and motifs. And here in London I've worked in creative positions such as a book designer, where I've been able to use and expand my illustrative work, and hopefully that's helped to refine it and tighten it up and just get it that bit better and tighter. And in freelance work I've done stuff for clients such as Orange, Popular Mechanics magazine, and Madame Tussauds. And also now I work on my own comic material, which I self-publish and get it out there myself. You know, you've got the avenues and the links, like, online now to do that and to make those connections which you need. And lately as well, in freelance work, I've done illustrations for a kids project in Donegal, and comic work for a Derry-based company, Uproar Comics. And I think that's the beauty of the world we live in now. I can work on projects and can contribute to things in the area that I'm from and grew up in, you know, with internet connection and, you know, downloading possibilities and, you know, file sharing. You know, that's all possible. You know, the world's got smaller in that regard. So from here on in, it's a case of just keep doing what I do, because I can't do anything else, and not to get lazy, and just always be aware that I can always learn, and hopefully tighten things up that bit more in what I do in my drawing and illustrative and creative work.